Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here because we've got a fantastic linguistic journey mapped out for you today. If you're a focused learner looking to sharply upgrade your vocabulary with precise, impactful language, well, you're in exactly the right place. You know, the real difference between a good vocabulary and a truly great one is precision. When you have the exact right word for a specific thing, you honestly start to see the world differently. So, to kick things off today, I want you to clear your mind and immediately visualize a highly dramatic sensory scene with me. Ready?
Imagine standing on a high, narrow finger of solid rock. Now, this isn't just some random boulder on a beach. It juts incredibly far out over the swirling sea. Close your eyes for a second if you need to. You can almost feel that cold, salty wind whipping around you. Hear the deafening roar of the water. And as you look down over the edge, there are these powerful, violent waves just crashing against the stone on 3 different sides right below your feet. You are completely suspended between the vast open sky and the churning ocean below. It's a feeling that combines a little bit of vertigo with absolute awe. Hold on to that vivid, powerful mental picture, because that exact feeling of elevation, that feeling of projection, is literally what our topic is all about today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Meeting the promontory. Meet the word. It's time to officially put a name to that breathtaking geographical feature we just pictured in our minds. Our absolute focus today is on this magnificent word, promontory. First things first, let's lock in the exact pronunciation together. It's Promontory. Come on, say it out loud with me wherever you're listening. Promontory. It consists of 4 distinct syllables. Grammatically, it functions as a noun, so it's a specific word for a place or a thing. Basically, a promontory is a high cliff that projects out into a large body of water or a similarly elevated height jutting out above lower land. But to really grasp this, we need to look at its roots. The word actually comes from the Latin word promontorium. That's a combination of pro, which means forward, and mons, which means mountain. Think about that for a second. A mountain pushing forward. So even though it's made of solid, unmoving rock, the word itself actually implies motion. It's land actively reaching outward and upward. Think of it as nature's ultimate built-in lookout point. It's exactly the kind of dramatic cliff edge where brave divers might gather to leap out into the deep ocean waters below.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds. Promontories in action, examples in context. Because, understanding the dictionary definition and the history is just the first step. Seeing it at work in our everyday communication is where the real learning happens and where it actually sticks in your memory. What's really fascinating about these examples is how beautifully the word shapes the imagery of a scene. Take that first scenario. Divers jumped from the promontory into the ocean. Instantly, you know they aren't just awkwardly wading in from a flat sandy beach, right? The word promontory guarantees they're leaping from a significant projecting height. It adds instant drama to the whole sentence. In the second example, a lighthouse stood at the tip of the rocky promontory. This gives the lighthouse its tactical purpose. A lighthouse absolutely needs to be visible from afar to warn sailors of dangerous shores. So, placing it at the very tip of a piece of land that actively reaches out into those dangerous rocky waters, it makes perfect sense. The promontory is nature's pedestal for that beacon of light. Finally, consider the third scenario. From the promontory, we could see ships far out at sea. Because a promontory offers that outward and upward vantage point, it inherently provides a commanding, panoramic view. Historically, these were the exact spots ancient civilizations would build forts to watch for naval armadas or incoming trade ships. Each of these sentences perfectly proves exactly how to use this noun in context to totally elevate your descriptions.
Moving right along to Section 3, the word detective, usage and contrast. This is where we put on our investigative hats and parse out the fine nuances of language. When dealing with geography, words can easily get tangled up. A promontory is definitely related to other landforms, like a cape, a bluff, a peninsula, or a simple cliff. But what makes it truly unique? Well, a cape can be totally flat, like Cape Cod. A peninsula is surrounded by water on 3 sides, but it doesn't have to be high at all. A bluff is steep, but it might just run perfectly parallel along a river without sticking out. The absolutely crucial defining characteristic we're hunting for with a promontory is projection combined with height.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact distinction we're talking about. Let's contrast these 2 geographic concepts. On one hand, we have a flat shoreline. A sandy beach stretching out in a continuous, gentle straight line is serene. It's an amazing place for a picnic, but it is absolutely not a promontory. It lacks height, and it completely lacks projection. But then, look at a jutting headland. This is our promontory. Look at how it aggressively interrupts the coastline.
It fiercely and unapologetically sticks out into the water. If the land doesn't project outward from the main coast, if it doesn't jut into the body of water like a pointing finger, it simply doesn't earn the title of promontory. The contrast here really locks in that core concept of sticking out and reaching up that you must remember.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to turn it directly over to you. I want you to picture a coastline in your own mind right now. It could be a place you've personally visited, maybe along the rugged coasts of Maine or Ireland, or even a fantasy landscape from a favorite movie. Now actively construct a promontory onto that coastline in your imagination. Build that high, rocky mountain pushing forward into the waves. If you were standing at the very edge of that high jutting cliff, looking out over the water, what exactly would you see? Would you see crashing waves 50 feet below? Distant white sails catching the wind? A rocky, perilous drop? Remember our core takeaway today. A promontory is a high cliff jutting out over water, a natural lookout fiercely pushing into the sea. Keep that dramatic image sharp in your mind, and you will never, ever forget this word. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep building that incredible vocabulary, and I'll see you next time.